Hi people, my name is Mark Johnston and I do STEM education. In this video, we're going to continue with the encoded message. The VEX VR Playground encoded message is so much going on with it that it's going to take 3 videos to get through. But in this video, I am going to show you how you can take the code that we did in the first part and make it a lot smaller, and then how we can also store this information in a list. Well, without further ado, let's get into it.
The guidance subsystem uses deviations to generate corrective commands to drive the missile from a position where it is to a position where it isn't, and arriving at a position where it wasn't, it now is.
All right, here we are at vr.vex.com, and we are continuing on with the encoded message. You can see that I have it open, and then I also have my drive velocity and turn velocity already set up. Now, I want to make this code very similar to what I did in the last video in part 1, except for this time we're going to add some complexity to it, which is going to make our code a lot shorter. The first thing I do know is that there are 8 blocks going all the way up. So I am going to need to repeat 8 times. And so I'm going to put that like this. And I know that the very first thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to drive forward for 200. I'm going to drive forward for 200, and I'm going to say, if it's green, I want to store something in a variable. And if it's blue, don't do anything. Just then go to the next one. And then if it's green, I want to store this 2 in the variable. And if it's green up here, I want to store the 4. And if it's green here, the 8, and so on. The great thing is that the values multiply by 2. And let me just show you. In variables, the very first variable that I want to make, and so I'm going to click make a variable, is I want to have my letter value. And really, it's not the letter value, it's the decimal value. So I'm going to say DEC value, so decimal value. And so I want to put the information into that, right? So I'm going to say, I'm going to put that down here, the set. By the way, it's very important to use set, not change, but set. So I'm going to go to control and say if, and if it is detecting green, so now I need to go to the sensing and down here to the eye sensing. If down eye detects green, then I want to set the decimal value to whatever the decimal value is plus. So you see, I went to the green operators and I put a plus. I got to go down to the variables and say decimal value. And it's a good idea to set decimal value up here to 0. We do need to do that. It does start out at 0. You'll see why it's necessary to set it to 0 here in a minute. But what I've done is I'm saying it's 0, and then down here, the very first time this repeat 8, very first time it runs, it's going to say decimal value is 0, so 0 plus what? Well, if it's green, I want to say plus 1. So I could do that like I did in the last video, and then just duplicate it, and then say 2, and then 4, and whatever. Or I could simply say that I want to change the value that gets added each time. Okay, so I need another variable for that to keep track of what value I am on here. This is a binary number, and what these numbers off to the left represent is the place value. In binary, that first unit can only be 1, or it can only be 0 or 1. That second unit is representing the 2's place. How many 2's are there? And then the third place is how many 4's are there? And then the next place, how many 8's are there? How many 16's, okay? And so that's what this is. So what we want to keep track of is the binary place value. So I'm going to make a new one, and I'm just going to abbreviate, so I don't want it to be a super long one, but bin place val is binary place value, okay? And so my binary place value to begin with is always going to be 1. So I need to set binary place value to begin with as a 1. Down here, I'm going to add the binary place value. Now this is great for the first time around. It works perfect for the first time around. Let's go ahead and watch it run and see what happens. So I'm going to do this to watch these variables over here. And then I'm going to step through it. Okay. We're going to use the step tool. I don't use it very often in my videos, but it is a very valuable tool when you're trying to watch your code. Okay. I think we can see everything on the screen. So I'm going to click step. You know, it's first setting the drive velocity and the turn velocity. It's going to set that binary place value to 1. Perfect. The decimal value is already 0, so that won't change. Now we're going to start our first repeat. Okay. So drive forward for 200. If it's green, then do something. And it's not green. So we should see no change. And I'll step. Okay. It's ready to repeat again. So now we'll drive 200. Now, if it detects green, it should be detecting green. What should happen is it'll take the decimal value, which is 0, and it's going to add the binary place value. But, binary place value, that should be 2 right now, not 1. And so if I went, it would just add 1 to it. Okay, and then if I went again, now we're here at the 4 value. It should add 4 to it, but it just added 1. So how do we get that variable to change by 2, by a factor of 2, by multiplying it by 2 every time? Well, it's easy. You just say set down here the binary place value to the binary place value times 2. So we get a multiplier or an operator, one of these green operators. Get the multiplication operator, put binary place value times 2. Now let's step through it. Okay. I'm going to reset this so it starts again at the beginning. So I'll step. The first time we step through, it's got to set all those variables, and it has. Now we're going through the first time. The first time it goes up to that 0. It's not going to do anything because it's as if it's green, but it's not. So it just goes to the next one. But now here's something's going to happen. Because I went through that first one, it's going to take binary place value, whatever it is, times 2. But binary place value is 1. So we should see that turn into a 2. Sure enough. Okay. Now when it drives forward for 200 and it says, do I detect green? Yes, I do. Take the decimal value plus the binary place value. So I'll click next and it says, boom. Now my decimal value is 2. So I added that 2 right there. Perfect. Now what I want to do is click step. I'm going to go through the repeat again, drive forward for 200. But now if I add this, it's going to add 4 because it down here, I just kind of skipped past it. It multiplied that 2 by 2 and it became 4. So now it should add this 4 to the 2, which will be 6. And sure enough, it is. And now this 4 is got to become an 8 to be ready for this next place. And so it does, becomes an 8. We're in the next place, but it's not going to detect green, so it's not going to add that 8 to the 6. We'll go to the next place. Now we're going to be 16. So it's in the next place. It's ready. If it's green, it's going to add the 16 to the 6. There we go. Okay. And we keep doing that all the way up the line until now that's okay that it's 128 here because look, it's going to go forward and it's not detecting anything anyway. So it's not going to add it. But remember that first letter is a V and on the ASCII table, it's 86. If you don't remember, or if you didn't watch the first video, you can get there by clicking on this little activities button, which will take you to this page, and you just scroll down and find the encoded message activity. And then if you click on that one, it will bring you to this document right here. And you just scroll down and there's the ASCII binary and decimal table for you. So we can see that number 88, or excuse me, 86 is a capital V. All right, so it's doing the addition for us, just like it did in the first video, except for look at how much smaller that is. I mean, we took up a whole, long page to do it before. And now it's just doing it, super fast. Watch this. Now I won't step. I'll just play. Boom, boom, boom. It's just adding what it needs to add when it's at that place value, and then 86. So right here, I could print, I could just do a print, and then I could say set cursor to next row, grab the variable and say print the decimal value, right? And then, so basically, then I would just, make it jog over to the next lane, go up there, print the next number, print the next number. So now it needs to drive in reverse for 1600. Then it's going to need to drive forward here in a second, but it's going to need to turn right for 90. Just trying to do this quick. And then it's going to turn right for 90. It's going to drive forward for 400, and then it's going to turn left for 90, and then it's going to be ready to go again. And so at this point, I can go ahead and repeat all of this. I want you to pay close attention to where I put that repeat. All right. Each time, I don't want the binary value to keep going up by 2. It needs to go all the way back to 1. And then I don't want my decimal value to keep adding to 86. I want it to reset to 0. So that's what that's going to do. So I'll go ahead and push start, and let's see what happens. Okay. So here it goes up through that lane. Notice it is adding that up again. So we printed our 86 again. Should jog over to the next lane, starts adding up the new decimal value, and then prints it out. And then it should jog over to the next lane and do that a third time and print that value out. Okay. There you go. We've really improved on that code. And I think that that's a really good lesson to learn about how you can do something different in a repeat by using variables, by manipulating and changing the variable so that each iteration, it's doing something, it's doing the same thing, but it's just a little bit different because you manipulated those variables. Instead of printing out my variables, I'm going to store them in a list. All right, so I'm going to go to variables. Okay, so I'm going to create a list. I'm going to click make list. We're going to call it word decimal numbers. All right, for the word. And then the length of the list, it could only ever be 5 letters because there's 5 rows down there. All right, so I'll open up the playground just to confirm that. And sure enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So we can only ever have 5 letters. I think some of the puzzles do. Yep. Like this one has 5 letters. So we do want to have 5 letters. And just to kind of remind ourselves what's going on, we'll set word decimal numbers to all zeros here at the top. Just kind of we can see that. Then over here, I do want to click add list. All right. And then I want to add my list right here so I can watch the value of the list change. Okay. Now here's where it gets interesting. Rather than print, I want to set the place. I want to set the number in one of these places in the list. Okay. So I could say replace item 1. Replace item 1 of word decimal numbers to whatever the decimal value is. And so watch, let's go ahead and play it. So here it goes. And then look at that, 71. I notice I changed the playground. So we're on we have a different one. And then look, oh, 71, and then it recorded 101 because it's always going to replace that item number 1 with whatever that value is. Let's reset this and do basically what we just did, except now what I want is I need another variable. So repeat underscore count. So I'm counting the number of repeats. Okay. And so I'm going to set the repeat count to 1 in the beginning. Okay. To 1 right there. And then I'm going to use repeat count for the list item. So the very first time it's going to go, it's going to say, what is repeat count? Well, repeat count is 1. So item 1, change it to that. Then the next one, I need this repeat count to change. So I'm going to just put right below it, change repeat count by 1. Now the next time it runs, repeat count will be 2. And the next time it runs, repeat count will be 3. And the next time it runs, repeat count will be 4. So it'll place it in position 1 the first time it runs, then position 2, and then position 3, 4, all the way up to 5. All right, let's go ahead and run it now. And it should store that. And it did, 71. And there it goes. And notice repeat count is changing. So it's on number 3 now. And so 71, 101, 97. And let's see, the last one is 114. And we know the last one is 0 because they're just all zeros. All right, so that about wraps it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can actually get it to print the word. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy that video, I would appreciate it if you give me a like. You can also become a member now for just $2 a month. You can get access to all of my videos a full day before they go public. Not only that, it shows your support for my channel, and it really does help me out. Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.